Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the Starkside. While you're here, I do appreciate it if you support the channel by hitting that like button, and if you're new here, please hit that subscribe as well as the notification bell. So before we dive into this review, I don't know if you've noticed, but my voice sounds a bit different, so I'm actually feeling a bit under the weather. But the show must go on, so today we'll be talking about NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990s RAPHAEL. So here we have RAPHAEL in this cool windowed packaging for NECA TMNT. At the front here we get the logo for the 1990 movie as well as the four turtles peeking out from under a manhole. That's awesome. And at the top we get another movie logo. At this side we get some nice images of RAPHAEL. And at the other side we get this nice full body image of Raph. And at the back we get this brief write-up about the 1990 movie, so if you want to read that you can pause the video. And we also get some nice shots of the figure in different poses, as well as the rest of the turtles here at the bottom. Alright, let's get Raph out of the packaging. And here we have RAPHAEL. Now before we talk about the figure itself, let's go over the accessories. So Raph comes with a decent amount of accessories, so he gets one pair of weapon holding hands, one kind of pointy finger hand, one gripping hand, two bandana pieces, a pizza slice, and of course his signature sai. And looking at these weapon holding hands, so these look really good, really well done, and these are actually the same weapon holding hands that we get from Leonardo and Donatello. So like with theirs, I'm really loving the green that we get here and all these sculpted details like the nails here and the texturing. So yeah, these look really cool. No complaints there. Same goes for these two unique hands. So we have this gripping hand, which you can use for stuff like the pizza slice or the sai when he's not using them as weapons. And then we have this kind of pointy finger hand, which I'm not really sure how to use, but still it looks nice and really well made. So yeah, this is nice to have. Next, we have these two bandana pieces that, like with Leo and Don, go to the peg hole at the back of his head. So these look nice. I like the red that we get here and all the sculpted wrinkling here as well. Next, we get the same pizza slice that we got before with Leo and Donnie. So the sculpt and paint apps and everything here are the same. As you can see, we get some olives, some bell pepper. So yeah, again, no complaints here. And lastly, we have his signature sai, which look really good. So I like the brown and silver that we get on these pieces here. And we also have some tiny sculpted details on the hilts here, these small stripy patterns. So yeah, this looks really well done. And just a brief bio about RAPHAEL. So Raph is kind of the brawler of the group, and he wears a red bandana and his weapon is a pair of sai, which are actually designed to be defensive weapons to subdue enemies rather than kill them. And this was given to Raph so that he can learn restraint. And looking at the figure itself, starting with the head sculpt, I think this looks amazing. I think it really looks like Raph from the 1990 movie. And I'm really loving the facial expression that we get for Raph here. Of all the three turtles that I've reviewed so far, I think Raph's facial expression here is my favorite, as I think this is the most expressive that NECA gave us. And what I really like most about the expression here is we see him grit his teeth here, so you can really see and feel the rage that Raph has. And again, I really love the green that we get here with these turtle figures from NECA and all these green spots here. And the rest of the figure looks amazing, so most of the paint apps and sculpt on this figure we've actually seen before on Donnie and Leo. And like with those two turtles, the paint and sculpt are really well done. And in particular for Raph, we get the same shell as Donnie. As you can see, we get the same spiral patterns here at the back of the shell. But an interesting and excellent decision that they made with Raph here is they added some cuts and scrapes on his shell here, which really supports the idea that he's the brawler of the group. And also on his belt here, we get these holders on the right and left for his sai, and it holds the two pieces in place nicely, so that's really cool. Anyway, the arms and legs look great, so we get the same pieces as with Leo and Donnie. And like I said in my previous review of Donnie, we'll probably see a lot of parts reused for these turtles. Regardless of that, overall, I think the sculpt and paint apps on this figure look fantastic. Now let's go over the articulation for Raph here. So since we get a lot of reuse here, the articulation on this figure is pretty much the same with Leo and Don. but still getting right into it. So Raph can look up that far, and he can look down as well. His head does rotate, and we get some nice neck pivot there. That's awesome. His arms move upward only that far, so it's less than 90 degrees, but he can bend them down all the way. His shoulders do rotate 360. We don't get any bicep swivel, but we do get rotation here on the elbow, which is double jointed, and like we did two turtles before, the elbow pads hinder the articulation here a lot. His wrists do rotate and move up and down, so we get the same wrist articulation for all his alternate hands. He has a diaphragm pivot, but unfortunately the shell will hinder the articulation here, so that's a bit of a bummer. His legs can kick forward only that far and not at all backwards. His hips move outward very far, so that's great. We get a thigh swivel, double jointed knees that are again hindered by the knee pads. No calf rotation, but we do get rotation here at the knee, so that's awesome. His ankles move up and down, and he has ankle pivot as well. Now for some figure comparisons, here's Raphael next to the other turtles that I have reviewed so far, Leonardo and Donatello, and they look great side by side. And I also forgot to mention earlier that the alternate hands that come with Leonardo and Donatello, you can also use them on Raphael. So that's my review of the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990s Raphael. So this figure has a good amount of accessories, although a lot of them have been reused. Great sculpt, great paint apps, and fairly decent articulation for a turtle. So yeah, I'm loving this figure. And if you're wondering where I got this figure, so I got this figure from Collector's Quest Philippines. So if you want to check that out, there's a link in the description below. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of this figure. Let me know what you think of my review. Please leave a comment below. And if you like this video, I do appreciate it if you support the channel by hitting that like button. And if you still haven't, please hit that subscribe, as well as the notification bell. You can also follow me on social media, links in the description below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.